What if I told you that one tiny crystal shaped empires, fueled slavery, and even sparked wars? Sounds wild, right? But sugar isn't just a sweet treat. It's one of history's most powerful forces. It built fortunes, destroyed lives, and still controls us today. So how did sugar go from a rare luxury to a global addiction? Welcome to another eye-opening episode, where we uncover the secrets they don't want you to know. Today, we're diving into the dark reality of sugar, because trust me, it's not just about sweetness. From the cravings to the hidden sources, every detail is designed to keep you coming back for more. Sounds dramatic, right? But sugar isn't just a guilty pleasure. It shaped history in ways we rarely imagine. Wars were fought over it. Entire economies rose and crumbled because of it. Millions of lives were forever changed, all for the taste of sweetness. From the booming sugar plantations of the Caribbean to the brutal transatlantic slave trade, this tiny white crystal was once so valuable it was called white gold. Kings and merchants thrived while countless others suffered in its shadow. But how did something so simple become so powerful? And why does sugar still control the world today? Let's dive into the dark history of sugar and uncover the bittersweet truth behind its rise to dominance. The birth of the sugar trade. Sugar wasn't always cheap or common. There was a time when it was a luxury reserved for kings and the ultra-rich. First cultivated in Southeast Asia and India, sugar was so rare in medieval Europe that it was worth more than gold. But everything changed when European explorers set sail in search of wealth and discovered the perfect conditions for sugarcane in the Caribbean and the Americas. Demand skyrocketed, and so did production. But there was a problem. Growing and refining sugarcane was grueling, labor-intensive work, and European landowners weren't about to do it themselves. Their solution? The mass enslavement of millions of Africans forced them to toil under brutal conditions on sugar plantations. Sugar was no longer just a sweet treat. It became an economic powerhouse, driving global trade, fueling colonial expansion, and leaving a trail of human suffering. And this was just the beginning. As sugar spread across the world, it would fund wars, crash economies, and permanently change the way we eat. Sugar, slavery, and the brutal cost of sweetness. Sugar didn't just shape economies, it was built on human suffering. By the 17th and 18th centuries, sugar plantations in the Caribbean, Brazil, and the American South depended entirely on enslaved labor, making sugar one of the driving forces behind the transatlantic slave trade. Millions of African men, women, and children were kidnapped, shipped across the ocean, and sold into lives of unimaginable cruelty, all to satisfy the world's growing sweet tooth. On these plantations, they worked from dawn to dusk under blistering heat, cutting and processing sugarcane for endless hours. Many didn't survive, but the demand for sugar only grew. This wasn't just about plantations, it was a global economic machine. European empires like Britain, France, and Portugal amassed vast fortunes from sugar, using it to expand their power and fund wars. Even after slavery was officially abolished, the industry found new ways to exploit cheap labor, ensuring sugar production stayed wildly profitable. But sugar's dark history didn't stop there. It would go on to revolutionize food, fuel addiction, and even play a role in today's health crisis. Let's see how this tiny crystal continued to reshape the world. The hidden health crisis. How sugar took over our bodies. Sugar may have built empires, but today, it's quietly destroying our health. The same ingredient that once symbolized wealth and power is now fueling obesity, diabetes, and heart disease worldwide. The problem? Sugar is everywhere. From breakfast cereals to salad dressings, even so-called healthy foods are packed with hidden sugars. And our bodies? They were never built to handle this much sweetness. Excess sugar spikes blood sugar levels, leading to crashes that trigger cravings, trapping us in an endless cycle of addiction. But the damage goes far beyond cravings. High sugar intake leads to insulin resistance, paving the way for type 2 diabetes. It fuels inflammation, increasing the risk of heart disease, liver damage, and even cancer. And here's the real twist. Big food companies know this. For decades, they fought against sugar regulations, funded misleading studies, and convinced us that fat, not sugar, is the real villain. The result? A growing health crisis while industries rake in billions. So, is there a way out? Or are we stuck in this sugar-fueled cycle forever? Let's talk about how we can break free. Breaking free. Can we escape sugar's grip? Sugar is everywhere, but that doesn't mean we're stuck in its trap forever. The first step? Awareness. Once you start recognizing how sugar sneaks into your food, you can take back control. One of the biggest tricks: spotting hidden sugars. Labels don't always say sugar. They disguise it with names like high fructose corn syrup, dextrose, and maltose. Cutting back on processed foods and choosing whole, unprocessed ingredients can help lower sugar intake without feeling deprived. Another game changer: retraining your taste buds. Sugar hijacks your brain's reward system, but over time, reducing it can make natural foods, like fruit, taste sweeter. Staying hydrated, eating fiber-rich foods, and balancing meals can also help stabilize blood sugar and curb cravings. But here's the real fight: changing the system. Some governments are finally cracking down, introducing sugar taxes and stricter food labeling. But the food industry? They won't give up easily. After decades of keeping sugar at the center of our diets, they'll do whatever it takes to keep us hooked. So, after centuries of shaping history, will sugar continue to rule our lives? Or is it time we break the cycle and take back our health? The choice is ours. Conclusion: the bitter truth about sugar. For centuries, sugar wasn't just a treat. It was power. It built empires, fueled revolutions, and left behind a legacy of addiction that still controls us today. What started as a rare luxury is now everywhere, hiding in our food, shaping our cravings, and even rewriting our biology. But now the mask is off. We know the history. We know the science. And we know that sugar isn't just a harmless indulgence. It's a system designed to keep us hooked. The question is, will we keep playing along? Or is it finally time to break free? The next time you reach for something sweet, remember, you're not just tasting sugar, you're tasting history.